it for now. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ben Kimura. I've been a member of this studio since its founding in 2022. This is my space and my sculptures, and welcome.
Hello, I'm Marcos Weiss, and I've also been a member of this group since the very beginning. So this is where we usually set up, and we have open houses here at Equinox, where there are about 130 other artists, but we're really the only stone sculptors. And this is where Syra works, and this is Kantaro's space, and Sonia's over here, and Luke is all the way in the corner. This is my space. And so these are where I have all the unfinished pieces, because I work on like 5 to 7 pieces at a time. So they're all over the place. When I see a rock that I really love, a stone that I really love, like here, some of these are covered. If you look on the shelf here, you can see there's different things with basalt and in process. I have a lot of things in process. And so I will just, if I get stuck, I just move on. My polisher, saw, my angle grinder's always, this one's always handy. I have other angle grinders in my boxes, but as you can see, it's a little chaotic. But this is one of my favorite tools. I use water. Ben and I are the two people in this studio that use water almost all the time. And I do that both for health reasons and because I like the way it works. We don't get as dusty and it doesn't go inside of us. So, and all my equipment for safety is over here. And I love doing marble, so out here, this is going to be a winged something or other. So that's, you know, just like everyone, I visualize what it could be and then I change it all.
Yeah.
So,
What's your favorite part about working together in a space?
I think it's working together. That's what it's about. It's getting ideas from other people and seeing how they're working, and also getting feedback from other people.
Oh, I try to avoid the unsolicited feedback part
right.
of being a sculptor, but it's unavoidable sometimes.
But it's nice to have an extra set of hands, like if you need something moved or you need somebody to like spot if you're drilling a hole or something like that. It's always nice to have a second set of eyes on the project and
yeah,
put
that's
it on
a
my
huge
tab.
benefit. The community aspect, because we get to have art walks, we get to open as part of the Equinox complex we're in for the we definitely do August and December every year, then they vary out in the open house ones. To be able to all come together, clean up, put on a show, throw a gallery show, have those times. That's what I love the most.
Right. So here we have our courtyard, which is awesome because we built this, we fabricated this roof a couple years ago, which has really just allowed us to make this space usable in the winter, in the rain, and in the weather. Everybody has their own little space around the pad, and right now these are a few of the pieces I'm working on. It's nice just to have a space just to let the pieces breathe, not have to put everything away every night and bring it back out the next morning. And then inside is we all have our own individual little spaces, and mine is filled with tools. Probably should have cleaned up a little bit more, but yeah, it's just really nice to have a space for all the tools to be there. Everything's here. If I want to get into a project, I know what the limitations are. A lot of these boxes are for different tools and hats. So there's like a box for glue and stuff to pin sculptures with, a big box of hand tools and chisels and stuff like that, and this box is usually filled with a bunch of these angle grinders. This is a very common tool for stone carving, the flush cut sintered diamond blade on the angle grinder. And I was just working, so a lot of the tools are out right now. I think the one that does the most is probably just the good old angle grinder, but it never replaces a good hammer and chisel. I would say my number one recommendation is to make sure, if you are using an angle grinder, to have a continuous rim angle grinder blade. If you have a continuous rim, it doesn't have things that can catch on you. So these kind of blades tend to be quite a bit safer than segmented blades, and I've had a lot of success with staying safe with these kind of blades. Just being here since 2022 and being able to personalize and bring in a lot of things. This is a really nice piece of furniture that came out of a house I lived in. Me and my friend came in and installed it, cut it to fit, and it's just a really solid piece of tooling. I personally am really proud of the mount that I made for my diamond chainsaw. I think that that's pretty fun and fits well. We have some stones inside, stones everywhere pretty much, but the biggest rocks we have are sort of kept on big warehouse racks out here. It's not exactly, but sort of, we each have our own sort of bay. Syra has a bay with some big marble down there. Kentaro has some nice basalt. And then I have this old tombstone, this 1,100 pound piece of granite, some marble. So there's always more rocks to be carved. I think there a lot of times there isn't any issues with like people getting in each other's ways, but it is good to know that somebody is here when you're not here, and so it's important to maybe sweep off the other people's sculptures if you blasted them with dust, or just be courteous, use courtesy and common sense to leave the space pretty nice. So these are a couple of pieces that I'm currently working on. This is a piece of Alaskan coral marble, and this is a piece of Colorado Yule marble. These are actually fossilized little critters that were in the coral. This is a really unique stone that polishes up to be pretty cool with the green speckles. And I wanted to leave some of the stone with the history of how it was cut. So there's drill marks from where it was split, and then the raw stone and the polished stone. For a long time, we didn't really have a good air compressor. The association gave us a rather large air compressor, but we needed to cover it. So one night I rebuilt my old bed frame and some plywood and built this little air compressor shack, which is pretty fun. And that was a hurdle that we had to get over, and once we installed this air compressor, it allowed us to do quite a bit more. This is an engine hoist, so it's used to pick engines out of cars. So for picking something off the ground and putting it on the table, it works pretty darn well. It makes it easy to move things around when we need to, and it's nice to have tools like that around.
So we have 7 full-time members and 1 part-time member, and Fred's our part-time member.
Okay.
And so the big difference is having the workspaces inside. Only full-time members get the big workspaces. Fred gets like 2 shelves. He'll show them to you.
Yeah.
And so outside, this is my workspace over here. And so I'm working on this little marble lady, Cipollino marble from Italy. She's got a wind-up key coming out of her back, and yesterday it busted, so I have to figure out. I'll get her done. She's very pretty. And I love working under the ivy. Like, I love the green because I had that space on Vashon Island for so long that had like so much green and ivy and everything. So this just feels really nice, because otherwise, like, you've seen the street, right? So this whole street, this is Equinox, and it's 145 artist studios. And then inside, I'm not sure if so this space right here is kind of, we haven't really cleaned it up since the big December art walk, so it's still kind of like half gallery, half workspace. But we try to keep it workspace during most of the year, and for the big art walks, we clean it up and turn it into a gallery. And this is my bench, my workspace. And so I built this out of an old table that I had. Another repurposed thing. I had no idea that he built that thing out of his bed. That's hilarious. I keep, like, those are my patterns. I use those when I carve. Because I do direct carving, I don't do maquettes or anything like that. So this is my sanding disc. This is a big, huge piece of plywood on a Lazy Susan, so I can put the sculpture on it and spin it around and sand it. It's pretty awesome to use. This is our kitchen and lounge. And this great work table here. But this is for, so we can take rests during the work cycle as you exhaust yourself, and then you need a place to sit down for 20 minutes and like let your muscles start to work again. So this is a really nice space also, so we can host people during the art walks and things like that. And then Ben showed you our beautiful pallet racks that we got this last year. And so I've got quite a few pieces of marble on here. I got that from an artist over in the other building, initially thinking that we create so many rock chips that we would fill that with rock chips and have them be free rocks during art walk, and it turns out nobody wants free rocks. I thought that they would, and they don't. And and so now if anybody needs a 150-gallon Rubbermaid drum, we've got one right here for $100. We're gonna start using the space for teaching. So I'm teaching with Gage Academy. So Gage is Seattle's fine art atelier. and I'm going to start teaching carving. We're going to use the space out front here. And so it's nice, like that's kind of what's so special about the place that we're in are these networks and the way that we can work with other artists. So Gage has traditionally been in downtown Seattle. They moved across the street. Mike McGrath started a sculpture atelier and then recruited me, because I'm right here, to start teaching stone because they didn't have anybody doing that. And so now we can have this collaboration with Gage, and it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to work with other artists. It's nice to have those kinds of networks and be able to just be inspired all the time by all the people around. So that's, I think, one thing that's very special about our place.
Well, my name is Fred Jackson. I started stone carving about 8 years ago when I retired, and found this group of people, and it's been a wonderful thing. I've been here for a couple years, and I'm unique amongst these people because I have a part-time spot because we're in Arizona half the year. So they gave me a part-time scholarship to come here and work, and it's been great for all the reasons that everybody has stated, and mostly it's the people and their skills and their energy and their interest and their willingness to participate and help people like me who need help. Okay, well, this is my space right here.
Okay.
Because I'm part-time, they don't need a permanent workspace because there's limited space, but I don't live too far, and so when I come down here to work, I'll just box up my tools, and if I didn't bring the right one, everyone's very generous about letting me use theirs until I go home and get my other. I don't have a permanent space. I have a banker that I use when I'm here. I have a space I can work in my house, but it's just not easy, you know. You have to pick it up, break it up. I took a class at Pratt, and Syra was the instructor, and so we got acquainted, and that was kind of the introduction. When it's open and there's space, it just is a real, you know, group effort and group pleasure to be here.